Welcome back. I got a trip coming up starting in a few days. I'm heading up to the Adirondack Mountains to do some muzzleloader hunting in the early muzzleloader season. It's normally pretty pleasant. The weather is very fallish, in the 50s during the day and 40s at night. And so far, it looks like the weather, as far as the weather can predict out that far, looks like that's what I'm going to get. So that's what I'm going to pack for, plus a little extra. So I'm going to show you what my kit is and how I go about layering up for those conditions. So here we go. Your next little skin layer is probably one of the most important. Merino wool doesn't take on your stink the same way some of the synthetics do. So for the warmer temps, I have a light merino wool ultra. I think this is a 125 or a 120, and it's a really lightweight material, which I love because it breathes very, very well. It's very soft, so it doesn't feel like you've got a wool army blanket wrapped around you. But it definitely is kind of delicate. So I try not to wear it as an outer layer at all. I keep one short sleeve, and then I keep one long sleeve. So maybe if it's a little cooler one evening, I can go ahead and wear the long sleeve one. It's got a vented, pit side, area. It goes all the way from your wrist down through your pit and down the side of you. So it's meant to breathe real well and keep you cool when you need to be cool, and it can also keep you warm when you need a little bit of warmth. So that's what I wear as the next to my skin upper base layer. Now, my next to the skin bottoms, I normally take two. I have the merino wool 145 weight zip off bottoms, and I generally wear these just in the evenings anyways, just to keep the stink off my pants. And also, let's face it, you walk up the mountain in the middle of the day, it's 50 degrees, but by the time the sun goes down, depending on what side of the mountain you're on, it can get a little chilly. So it's kind of nice to have a base layer on. Now, these merino wool zip-off base layers by Kuiu, they're mediums, but they fit like larges. It's really kind of crazy. They are full length. They're not like a boot cut that are real short. I have a set of Peloton. I think these are 118s. They're kind of the heaviest of the zip-off base layers. They are the boot cut, so they don't come all the way down. And these are mediums, and they fit like mediums, so it's kind of weird. These are a couple years old, so the sizing is a little wacky. But I try not to wear the synthetic ones unless I know it's going to get pretty cold, and then I wear that as a base layer underneath the merino, which doesn't make any sense because I got that backwards for that. But that's how they fit, because those fit like a large and these fit like a medium. So that is basically my next to the skin base layer. The first kind of, I wouldn't call it a warm layer, but the first kind of layer that's not my next to the skin base layer, something that's a little bit insulatory. I always take two Peloton 118s. These are both 118s. I take a long sleeve, and I take a short sleeve. Obviously, that's for when things are a little warmer or when they're a little cooler. And before I head up on the mountain, I can always judge that before leaving. So, now my insulatory layer. It is the Adirondacks, and it does get quite chilly as soon as that sun starts to go down. So, you gotta kind of have at least some type of hoodie, sweatshirt type of layer just to kind of insulate you for that time of day. And what I choose is the Strong Fleece. This is a 260. They changed the numbering. I think the new ones are like the 255s or something. I think generally speaking the weight of the material is pretty much the same, but the cut's supposed to be different. I've never had an issue with the Strong Fleece sizing. So this is a large, and I I have a large because sometimes when I'm hunting here in Ohio, I'll wear another insulatory layer, another strong fleece or Peloton layer beneath this. So I wear this as what I'm going to wear when I'm walking up the mountain if I'm just moseying and not trying to truck it to get to the top. Keeps you warm, keeps the wind off you a little bit. It's meant for carrying a pack. These strong fleece, it has a nice furry inside layer, first layer. It's kind of a nice puffy, woolly kind of interior. It's kind of nice. It's plush, I guess you'd call it. But down the back, it is missing the full insulation, and it's also missing the full insulation along the sides. I'm going to show you that here real quick because I can. I don't want this video to run over into the 10 or 20 or the 20 minutes, but as you can see from the inside of the garment, it's missing this furry layer. It's missing that down your neckline and right where your pack rides. See, the whole way across where your pack touches your back. That's just so you get some airflow, so you're not sweating too much while wearing a pack. And I do wear a day pack when I'm up on the mountain. So that is my insulatory layer that I kind of wear general purpose. Boy, that's all kinds of messed up. So, next up is what I wear on the bottoms. So my outer layer on the bottoms are attack pants. These really are the flagship pant that the company Kuiu makes. They really, like, if you have a solid, you could honestly wear these out, on the town, and no one ain't gonna think you're out there wearing some, high speed, low drag camping gear. They look pretty normal. They do have side zips to keep you kind of cool if you need it, to zip up cargo pockets. I always dig zip pockets. One, because they don't wear out the way Velcro does. Buttons can be cumbersome with gloves on, but zippers, as long as zipper works real good, it's always keeping your goods in the pocket safe and sound. Now, the sizing on attack pants. In jeans, I normally wear a 32. I find attack pants fit very, very close. So I wear, for my attack pants, I wear them early in the season. So I really only have at most a base layer, like a next to the skin base layer on underneath these. So wearing my actual pant size goes very good with the attacks. My outer layer that I kind of strap to the outside of the pack for when I get somewhere, if I'm going to sit for a long time, I kind of put it on just to keep the wind off me, is a Peloton 240. Now the Peloton 240 is supposed to be the greatest garment of all time, just like the attack pant. This is the one, if you go onto Facebook and ask everyone what their favorite garment is, they say the Peloton 240 is their favorite upper. I mean, if you took a poll, that's the way it'd come out. I dig it. It's kind of loud. I'm sure you guys can hear that. For being something that's fleece, it seems a little loud, but I believe the reason why is because it does have a wind-resistant lining, which is going to cause you some time of noise anyways. I wore it earlier this week on a rifle hunt in Ohio. We had a CWD watch rifle hunt in a few counties here in Ohio. And I wore it, to be honest with you, I didn't find it as loud as I may have just put it out to you, but I do find it loud. Both my strong fleece and the Peloton both have hoods. Generally speaking, I don't like to wear a stocking cap or a skull cap or something. I just like to wear my ball cap. It's kind of nice to have a hood to come up over top of you and block the wind. It does have the DWR waterproof kind of like treatment, so it's supposed to keep the water off you, which I haven't had a chance to check that, so I'm not going to comment on it. The Peloton 240, you could search anywhere and find out all the information that you'd ever want to know, but that's what I'll strap to the outside of the pack. Now, I have an Axis jacket that I'm taking with me. This is the Axis hybrid jacket, which is like a guide jacket, which I don't even know why they have the guide jacket. I've had them, and it's nothing more than a soft shell. The Axis jacket is more waterproof, it is more windproof, and it's just as quiet and just as warm as a guy jacket. So if you're looking at guy jackets, just skip it and go with the Axis. The Axis has like a waterproof hood and shoulders. You got the chest, shoulders, the tops of the arms, and around the bottom a little bit. And the second day of rifle season in Pennsylvania last year, I wore my Axis pants and my Axis jacket, and it rained from sun up until I shot my deer around 11:30, and I was not wet one bit. And it was, I wouldn't say it was a driving rain like something you'd get on Kodiak Island, but it was wet the whole time, and my Axis kept me quite dry. So bear that in mind. Always keep this in my kit, not necessarily on the mountain with me, but if it rains, I'm throwing this on. Now, as far as the sizing for the Axis, I know everyone always asks for sizing. The Axis is really thin through the sleeves. So if I have something I'm going to wear in the early season that I might just have a hoodie on beneath at most, I wear my regular size, which is about a medium. If I'm going to wear anything like a insulatory layer, like maybe the Kenai top or the light down jacket that I've got, my other Axis, the camo one, is in a large, which allows me to layer beneath it. So that's enough about the Axis. Always take my Icon cap because, hey, it's my favorite cap. It's light, it's comfy, you barely even know it's there. I take it with me. I do have the dry fitted Kuiu orange cap that I use during gun seasons, which sometimes I wear it, sometimes I don't, but it's a decent hat. Very comfortable, and it doesn't move around. For me, I've got a pretty small head, so the small medium that they have is pretty good. My hat size is about a 7. I know that because of many years of wearing military headgear. So that's a squared away hat. If you don't like decking yourself out with everything Kuiu, then get something else. But that's a pretty squared away hat, and it's light too, just like everything else. Now, my orange layer. I have a Peloton 240, which is just like the Peloton 240 jacket. It's just missing the sleeves. And it's my outer layer. I size up to a large just because it does have the wind resistant material. I've had this for 2 years, and I can see where I've got some piling. I don't even know if you guys could even see that, but that's just from, walking through briars. I mean, I'm not out there doing deer drives and busting brush, but if you're on a rifle hunt, you got to pass by multiflora rosebush or greenbrier. You're going to make it through without snag it and ripping it open, but it's definitely not something that you want to wear on a rabbit hunt or something. So Peloton 240 vest. Okay, so next up is the 240 Peloton hat. I wear this if I don't feel like wearing a hood, like if I'm sitting somewhere and it's real still out and I want to be able to turn my head. Even though the Kuiu hoods are cut kind of for that purpose so that they don't flare out and ruin your field of vision, sometimes I just put a hat on, put the hood down so I could sit there and be a little bit more aware of my surroundings without really having to worry about turning into my hood. As far as gloves and neck gaiters, these that I take with me, I have two. They're both the merino wool, just because they don't stink when I'm breathing out through them all the time, and they kind of last a lot longer that way than the synthetic ones. I have merino wool gloves. They're really a light glove. They got kind of the dots on the palm. These are spectacular gloves. I wear these all the time. They're warm. I do have 2 pair of the merino wool boxer briefs that Kuiu brought out this last year. I did wear one of these on the rifle hunt this past weekend also. And man, you can't even tell you're wearing wool. They're soft. And I can't tell you about how they stink because I didn't smell them after I was done wearing them. But they were comfortable, and sometimes that's all that counts. Now, this down jacket can be a lifesaver. And the new Super Down LT, it does pack into one of the pockets, which is almost, it gets to be about that big, like maybe a little bit bigger than a softball. But to be honest with you, that takes up no room in the pack. And this thing, it fits 10,000 feathers. It feels like it's one. So it's light enough. There's no reason to put that thing at the bottom of your pack just in case. I take along with me my bino harness. This is the medium. I got my old 10-year-old Leupold binoculars in there. They fit real nice. I've heard people online say that they're loud. I don't think they're loud. They have a pocket for my milkweed, which gets a little cumbersome there. I either keep a puffy, like a wind puffer, or a small red lens flashlight in the other pocket. I do have the ammo pouch for this. I also have the bino harness, which or the bino pocket, the bino pouch, but it does serve real well to hold my powder, bullets, and primers for my muzzleloader hunt. So take that thing along, and my day pack is the Divide 1500. This is as big as a day pack as I think you'd want to actually call a day pack. But the reason why pack has got lots of pockets, it's good enough you're going out for a full day, you're packing your meal, and you're packing if you got camera gear or any extra clothes. Like I said, if you're packing out food, this is going to carry your jet boil. Comes with a removable belt, which I keep my little Garmin InReach Mini on this. Keeps your phone. It's very, very comfortable to wear. I've wore a lot of packs in my life. And as far as a day pack goes, it really doesn't get much better than this one. And at some point, I'm actually going to do a whole video on this day pack because I am pretty impressed with it. So, that's the opposite of a gear dump. That's a gear pack. But what I did is I just kind of gave you the quick rundown of what I pack for an early season muzzleloader hunt anywhere. If you're looking at daytime temps being, the mid 60s, probably at the very highest, to the low 50s at the very lowest for the daytime. And for the mornings, I don't see any frost warnings up there, but you're looking at the upper 30s, lower 40s for your morning hunt. So, wish me luck. I'm sure I'm going to make a pretty good, exciting adventure video for you coming up, so watch out for that, and we'll see you next time.